Coming up on this episode of DL Weekly, famous Disney couples are out in force for Sweethearts Night, an extra discount for magic key holders.
Lots of updates around the resort. We talk about Valentine's, and we finish our discussion with voice actor Vincent, and more. DL Weekly starts now.
Howdy, partners. For your safety, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast. And be sure to watch your ears. If any of you folks are wearing hats or glasses, best remove them, because Tag and Teresa have the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hello and welcome to this episode of DL Weekly for the week of February 2nd, 2022. I'm Tag Bushman.
And I'm Teresa Urban. Thank you to Kevin R. for becoming an official weekly tier, also to Priscilla V. and Freya for increasing your support. Our supporters get some pretty fun perks like DL Weekly swag, bonus content, and access to our Discord community. We actually had a really fun book club last week. Still, great book. Anyways, if you would like to have some more Disney magic in your day, head on over to dlweekly.net/support to join the community.
And I even enjoyed taking part of it. I didn't even get a chance to read the book, so I'm excited to eventually have time to read it. Well, if you enjoy listening to the show, please consider rating and reviewing the show on your podcast app. It helps other Disney fans become weekly tiers and part of the community.
Now let's get to the news.
Oh, here we go with a big long list. For those attending Sweethearts Night at Disneyland this month, which the first night is the night that we're recording this, so very excited to see photos and stuff. One of our past guests and official weekly tier, Devin, is actually going tonight, so can't wait to hear what his experience is like in the park tonight. But there are going to be a ton of characters out and about. The characters include Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Clarabelle and Horace, and Mary Poppins and Bert on Main Street, Tiana and Prince Naveen with Bernard and Miss Bianca in New Orleans Square, Nick and Judy from Zootopia near Splash Mountain, Milo and Kida in Star Wars Launch Bay, and Stitch and Angel in the Tomorrowland Theater. Finally, Fantasyland has Belle and the Beast, Gaston, Snow White and Prince Charming, Princess Aurora and Prince Philip, and Rapunzel and Flynn Rider.
I was so excited that we get to see some characters that are very rare. You don't get to see these characters very often. So my like top, if I were to be at Sweethearts Night, I would have to go see Bernard and Miss Bianca.
Who?
They're from the Rescuers.
Oh.
They're mice. They're very cute.
Gotcha.
The Rescuers and the Rescuers Down Under. Very fun. Also, Milo and Kida from Atlantis. I would definitely go see them. I'm sure they've been in the parks before, but it's very rare. I can't think of a time that they've been in the park, so I think that's very exciting. A lot of the other characters we do see more frequently in the park. Clarabelle and Horace, I feel we've been seeing more and more of them recently, which is great. Same with Nick and Judy. They've been out and about quite a bit too. But yeah, very exciting. I do feel a little bad for Gaston because we've got Belle with the Beast, and then Gaston's just also there.
Well, Gaston doesn't care.
No, I know.
His personality doesn't care at all that they're together. He's probably just there giving them grief or whatever.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny that they had this little, all three of them
like
here.
A third wheel hanging out.
Yeah, and he's a villain. That's the other funny thing, that he's a villain at Sweethearts Night.
Are there any
Villains
couples?
can find love too, though.
Are there any villain couples?
Nobody I can think of off the top
of my head. I guess the closest thing you would get, but they're not a couple, would be Yzma and Kronk.
Kind of, yeah.
But they're not really a couple.
They could be. I mean, why not? They could be out. The only thing I was thinking was like when Ursula is in her human form.
Oh, that's true.
Trying to marry Prince Eric, but that's not quite a couple either. I'm sure there are villain couples. We're just not thinking of them. I
know this is really silly, but when I was writing this for the news, I found myself having this strange conversation with myself in my head about the characters. Okay. Because you can say Mickey and Minnie, and you know that they're Minnie and Mickey Mouse. But then I feel like when you say Tiana, you wouldn't say Tiana and Naveen, you'd say Tiana and Prince Naveen. You have to put the prince there. Same thing with Princess Aurora and Prince Philip, and Snow White and Prince Charming.
Yeah.
It's almost part of their name, their title in royalty. So I thought that was interesting because I was typing it and I was like, this would seem weird if I just wrote Aurora and Philip.
Well, and what's weird is Rapunzel is also a princess.
But she doesn't go by Princess
it's not
Rapunzel.
Princess Rapunzel, though. Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah, so it was kind of a little twister there for me. But lots of cool characters. I can't wait to see all the pictures and stuff from this event.
Yeah, Lee, you are correct. Bert and Mary Poppins are not actually a couple. Neither, I don't think Nick and Judy from
I don't
Zootopia,
think so either.
They are also not a couple. But they're hanging out together anyways. Maybe they can go give Gaston some company.
They'll go hang out with Gaston.
Go hang out with him. Magic Key holders attending Sweethearts Night at Disneyland can get extra discounts on food when ordering through the mobile app during the event. Magic Key holders ordering from Harbor Galley, Royal Street Veranda, French Market, Alien Pizza Planet, Little Red Wagon, Refreshment Corner, or Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor and use promo code Valentine will get an additional 15% off between 8 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. during the Sweethearts event.
Yeah, so I thought this was kind of cool. The wording, I think the wording means one thing. So I'm going to tell you what I think it means.
Okay.
But I don't know if this is what it means. You can get your normal Magic Key discount, and this is in addition to that. Because if you read let me click on the link here quick. They say that... additional discounts.
Mm-hmm.
So you already get your Magic Key. Magic Key discounts also apply. So if you're a Magic Key holder, not only do you get your normal discount, but you get this extra 15%. But you do have to use the promo code Valentine. I'm curious. I feel like this seems like it's something to try to encourage people at the event to eat a little bit later because it's that 8:30 to 11:30 p.m. or 8 to 11:30 p.m. So I feel like it's trying to get people to not eat in like the normal time frame and kind of push it later for one reason or another. So I don't know. I think an extra 15% off would be, I'd wait till 8 to get that extra amount off.
Yeah. So with Sweethearts Night, you actually get to enter Disneyland without a reservation at 5 p.m. If you want to enter prior to that, you do need a park reservation. So you do have a couple of hours to just kind of enjoy the park. The party itself begins at 7 p.m. So really 8 p.m. it sounds like it's late, but in the timeline of the party, it's not it's not crazy late. So you could just get yourself a snack. We're going to talk about some fun and interesting snacks that are available right now. So yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's a really nice perk. Again, I like when they do these extra things. Disney did not need to give Magic Key holders this extra discount for mobile ordering because, like, for our level, that'd be that's 25% off on food.
Yeah,
that's a pretty nice discount. That's not something that's expected. I don't remember them doing an additional discount like this in the past.
Right.
So it's kind of a fun perk. And
why do you think they're doing it?
Do you think it's because it's Magic Key holder month?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know if this is like an unspoken like bonus for Magic Key holder month, but there's not another after hours event that they did this for, unless maybe this is something that they're going to start doing. Do
Magic Key holders use mobile ordering less, and they're trying to encourage people to use the mobile ordering again?
Think so.
Yeah, I would think it'd be the opposite. I would think you'd be good at mobile ordering, so you'd use it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a nice perk, whatever the reasoning behind it is.
Well, it's February already, which means that it's Black History Month, and Disney is celebrating in the parks. Celebrate Soulfully invites guests to gather for experience that honor Black heritage and culture. At Disneyland, Celebrate Gospel will move from Stage 17 at Disney California Adventure to the Fantasyland Theater on February 19th with award-winning gospel singer, actor, and fashion designer Kiara Sheard, along with a cappella gospel group Sacred Groove. Grammy Award winners Jonathan McReynolds and Molly Music perform on February 26th, along with the Singers of Soul. Both weekends will feature Southern California community choirs from 3 to 7 p.m.
This is so exciting because we had reported quite a while ago that this was coming and that Celebrate Gospel was going to be, at the Fantasyland Theater. I didn't know, this feels bigger than I was assuming it to be. I thought it was just going to be something like Festival of the Lion King or like Mickey and the Magical Map. It's the same cast, same performance, go catch the 2 p.m. show kind of thing. And it's just for this limited time. So I was really excited to see that they have, it changes. So you could go to it different times and you could see different people, hear different things. I thought that was really fun and really exciting and like a way to bring more energy to this performance because, it's not the same it's not like, again, like Mickey the Magical Map where it's just you can almost sing along by the time you've watched it 5 times. So I think it's really exciting that they're keeping it like fresh and they're getting all these people, all these artists and all these musicians and all these people involved. Very, very cool. Very exciting.
Well, yeah. I mean, where else can you? I mean, it's not often that you can see Grammy Award winners and award-winning singers and everything like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's nice to also have a variety of music in the parks because we've had, you know, pop music before. We've had, you know, back in the 80s, I know, we had, you know, the popular like kids music, like the 80s, you know, kind of music and stuff back then. So it's kind of cool to have, you know, gospel music there to help celebrate Black History Month. And I love that they're doing things like this. You know, Lunar New Year, I know they've been doing that for a while, but that's kind of like a cultural thing that they're doing, Black History Month. So I like that they're doing these kind of like events that celebrate different cultures and stuff. And I think that
and celebrate diversity.
Yeah. And I think that that's great that they're doing this and guests love it. So why not?
Well, it kind of brings me back to like what Walt was talking about when he was first opening the park, how he wanted it to be fun, but also educational. I think this is really cool because how many people will be able to experience true, like say, for example, Lunar New Year in their life? You know, not everyone can be able to afford to travel to go experience things that maybe aren't happening in their backyard. So I think it's fun to be able to be in the happiest place on earth and get to learn about all these things and experience these things that you may not have been able to otherwise. Yeah, it's a good, like, for people who aren't immersed in this stuff in their daily lives or know people that are immersed in these things, it's a good kind of doorway to experiencing these things. Kind of like you were saying, for sure. Well, a lot of smaller updates and refreshes are happening around the resort over on Main Street. Well, so buckle in. We're going on a grand circle tour here.
Yes.
Over on Main Street, the Crystal Arcade is covered in scaffolding and getting a new paint job. Over at the Rivers of America, the water jet and pyrotechnic pits are drained and are being worked on in preparation for return of Phantasmic. Yay! The Haunted Mansion has returned for being taken over for the holiday season, so Jack has gone back to Halloween Town now. Splash Mountain has closed for its annual refurbishment. Not anything related to the upcoming Princess and the Frog re-theme, though, just normal maintenance. It's a Small World also closed to remove the holiday overlay that almost didn't happen this last year because of the flooding. Steelwork continues to go up for the upcoming Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, including hills taking shape on top of the show building to bring back the cartoony hillside. And then finally, the Finding Nemo submarine voyage is getting final touches before the lagoon is refilled and the attraction can reopen.
I love this time of year because it seems like there's all types of stuff happening right now. The fact that, you know, things on Main Street are getting taken care of is always great. Oh, I'm so excited, just like you are, that Phantasmic seems like it's just around the corner. The Haunted Mansion, I'm always in awe of how quickly they can take it from the Haunted Mansion Holiday and put it back to its normal version. Splash Mountain definitely needs some refurbishment. I feel like if they could get away with it and it wouldn't be so impactful to people, that this could go under refurbishment a couple times a year for the amount of things that they have to update on it seems like all the time. It's a Small World. It lasted longer this year than it normally does, with the fact that it started a little bit later, so I thought that was super cool. Pretty soon, we're not going to be able to get updates for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway because Toontown's closing pretty soon.
I know.
So whatever we get now is all we'll see until it's done, probably. And then, of course, the Finding Nemo submarine voyage, they said winter. I know it's still winter, but it seems like so much later. But, you know, I know you're not a huge fan of the Finding Nemo submarine voyage, but I do think it'd be nice to have another attraction open.
I love what it looks like in the land. The ride itself, like it's the sub. I get a little like claustrophobic-y feeling in the sub, so I try to like put my head as far as I can into the porthole to like not remember that there's so many other people jammed packed in there with me, and especially right now, like in COVID times, I really don't think I'd be comfortable going in the subs unless they did kind of like space, you know, didn't pack them full and allowed you to space out a little bit. But that's my thing with the subs. I almost wish it had like benches instead of those seats because sometimes you just feel like you're practically sitting on each other's laps.
Sure.
So that's my one thing with the subs is I just feel like very, very crammed in there.
I feel like
sardines.
It's been a few trips since I've been on the subs, so honestly, like I have a hard time even remembering anything about the subs, but I do like how colorful it is. And you know what I really want to do? I want to go at night. on the subs because I feel like I've gone during the day a lot, but I've rarely gone at night, and I feel like at night it is also really colorful because they do light it up. But I will tell you, when I'm in line at the monorail on a hot day and I look off the platform where the bubbles are coming up, it looks so dang refreshing.
I am excited for the seagulls to come back. Mine?
Yes.
Mine?
Let's talk about Phantasmic coming back. Maybe.
I'm trying to not get my hopes up, but my hopes are getting up there.
I know it's not Disneyland, but are you ready for this?
Oh, yes.
In Disney World, they refilled the water there for their Phantasmic.
Which I didn't know it was. Says how much I don't pay attention to Disney World. I did not know that they had drained it. But it's big news for Disney World that they had refilled their. I don't know. Is that a moat? Is it a river? I don't know what they call it.
They call it a moat because like the stage and everything's in the middle of it.
Sure. So
because the boat kind of circles it.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm getting real excited about Phantasmic. I feel like they've been doing.
Do you think it'll be open when we're there?
Thinking it might.
It'll be a Teresa wedding miracle.
Thinking that it's a pretty strong possibility that it might.
Well,
be
you better get on the phone with Mickey Mouse himself and be like, Mickey.
Excuse me. Hi, Murphy. We need to have a chat. I hope you're feeling up to it. I know it's been a little while since you've performed, but could you please?
He's social distancing, Teresa.
Murphy is a she.
They are social distancing.
I am. I'm getting really excited. I think it's going to happen soon.
I hope
Unfortunately, I think it's going to happen sooner than World of Color because if history has told us anything, when they are doing refurbs and getting World of Color ready, it does seem to take much longer.
Yeah. Well, we talk about that next.
But so I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful.
Speaking of which, over in Disney California Adventures, some of the facades in Hollywoodland are getting a facelift, while in Paradise Bay, the World of Color infrastructure continues to be worked on. The platforms have been raised and lowered a lot recently, with scaffolding still in place, while the projection towers are still being rebuilt. So those are the ones that are along the back side of the lagoon that right now are just barely above the surface. They've got to build the platform back. Over at the Disneyland Hotel, the new Disney Vacation Club Tower is coming along with the foundation being poured.
I'm excited about that too. The concept
keep forgetting
art,
about it.
I know, I do too. But the concept art for the Disney Vacation Club Tower coming to the Disneyland Hotel is just beautiful. The outside was kind of interesting, so I'm wondering if the direction that they're going for the decor on the outside of this tower, if maybe the rest of the hotel is going to kind of see that same outdoor. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it didn't make total sense to me, if that makes sense. It looks different, but almost too different that they can't just leave it be its own little thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I'm really excited for the rooms. The concept art for the rooms that we saw at the Destination D event. Beautiful.
Yeah, the whole thing looks like it's going to be gorgeous, and I'm with you. I hope. I know they just did the remodel in the last 10, I don't know, my time frame's all off. It might be 15 years at this point. But I know that they did renovation tower by tower by tower there within the last 10 or 15 years. So I don't know if they will.
Like, you mean the exterior part?
Well, they did the interior a little bit too, but the exterior, it's when they did all that blue stuff. So I'm wondering almost if they would do that. Although I think that, when it comes to the 3 Disneyland hotels, of course, the Grand Californian is gorgeous, and there's a lot there, right? The Disneyland Hotel, the grounds are beautiful. I think that the buildings themselves are a little meh. Then, of course, the poor Paradise Pier that gets, forgotten all the time.
It's because it's, in the back corner,
Yeah,
too.
I wish the Paradise Pier would get, a renovation or something different or a retheme or something, because I think that could be really, really nice.
It needs a little TLC.
Yeah.
Well, last week, auditions were posted for an upcoming show at Disneyland. The Tale of the Lion King was hosting auditions for the show that will be at the Fantasyland Theater this summer. Rehearsals begin in April, with performances starting in early summer. This helps us get an idea of when to expect the show to start to return back to the resort, which is so exciting because live entertainment. We love live entertainment.
This week, Disney World announced that, their parades and stuff are coming back. So, they're doing a lot of that stuff.
I know Tokyo announced that they have
Disney World is announcing that the fantasy, whatever parade is coming back.
The one with the super cool dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, so that one will be coming back, and they're going to be doing some other things too. So Things are slowly getting back to normal in the Disney parks. Also, speaking of random news, I feel like this is a great time to talk about this. I know it's not Disneyland. Did you see the big news today that SeaWorld is trying to buy Cedar Fair, which means that they will buy, that'll be Knott's Berry Farm.
No.
And I can't remember the other, and Six Flags, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, so they're trying to, because that would include Knott's Berry Farm, so it'd be interesting that SeaWorld would own Knott's Berry Farm then. Huh. I don't know. It just got announced today. I don't know if it went through or they just proposed it or what, but I saw it while I was taking a little break between finishing the script and coming over here, and I was like, wow, I did not expect that to happen.
Yeah, interesting.
But, SeaWorld's been doing a lot of roller coasters and theme park stuff now. It's not like it used to be where it was kind of a marine park where you'd go see whales and dolphins and everything, because that's not really acceptable as much as it used to be. So I think that they kind of pivoted to more theme park. Weeklyteers who are in love with coffee, like Teresa, especially cold brews, like Teresa, that the park have been offering lately should head on over to the Hungry Bear restaurant soon. A new Snickerdoodle cold brew is available for $5.99. This version is topped with whipped cream and cookie dust, making it a bit more sweet than most cinnamon cold brews. This has been compared to the cinnamony coffee drinks at places like Starbucks.
Can you tell who was the one that put this in the news? Yes, it was me.
Of course you did.
It's just really exciting to me that there are fun, cold, there's, how do I want to say this? It's just really exciting to me that there's fun coffee options in the park. Because for the longest time, if you wanted anything other than just black coffee, you had to go to one of the Starbucks
locations. This makes me happy
locations.
too, yes.
Because that was the only way. And then the lines were horrendous. But this is more exciting and more fun to me than it is to go order a Starbucks beverage, because let's be honest, you can get Starbucks.
And you're not a huge Starbucks fan anyway.
You can get Starbucks anywhere. It's not special, it's not special to Disney.
Where's the Joffrey's?
I mean, I do really I love the cups. I think it's fun that they have the little pixie dust on their Starbucks cups. But this stuff is just way more exciting to me. I mean, there's a horchata cold brew over in where's the horchata cold brew right now? It's over at Rancho, and and then you've got all the festival.
Do you think that'll still be there when?
Too. I hope so. I feel like that could be one that just
because you love horchata.
I love horchata and I love cold brew, so I feel like this is a great combination. But anyways, I just think it's really nice that they have more options, and like I said, this is just more exciting to me because it's always changing and it's always different.
Yeah.
Am I a little sad that my favorites do get swapped out? Yes, I would. I mean, if the churro toffee cold brew could be a thing every trip, it would be a thing every trip for me, but it's gone now.
Now you can look forward to it when they do bring it back.
Exactly. So I just find this so exciting.
It seems to me like they they have a base for the cold brews and then they just keep adding different accoutrements to it.
Exactly.
So it's not like it takes a ton of effort for them to offer a bunch of different variations, except for I will say the pictures of this one look like it was darker than the other ones. Like they don't put as much stuff in it.
Yeah, so the horchata has horchata in it and then also the cream on top. This one only looked like it had the cream on top.
Are you a Snickerdoodle fan?
I do like Snickerdoodle, yeah.
So you like the cinnamon?
I do like Snickerdoodle coffees.
Well, hopefully this will still be there too.
It might be. If not, there'll be a new one when we're there.
That's true. Or 10.
Fans of sour cherry are in luck. Don't worry, it is not a cold brew. 2 Disneyland classics now have the option of being topped with sour cherry sugar. The first is a cream cheese filled pretzel with the sour cherry sugar on top. The other is a churro with the same sour cherry sugar with the option of cream cheese dipping sauce on the side for $1 extra. For the pretzel, the Disney food blog reported that the flavors worked well together, but are incredibly sweet. Guests can grab one at the Tomorrowland pretzel cart for $7.75. The churro was better than the pretzel, according to the Disney food blog. And if you're going more for a mellow flavor, skip the sweet dipping sauce. The churro is also available in Tomorrowland at the churro cart for $5.75.
So I haven't really talked about this on the podcast.
What is your when you see a photo of this pretzel, what is your first thought?
It looks radioactive, at least in the pictures.
It reminds me of a flamin' hot Cheeto or something.
Yeah. But I don't.
I wouldn't have thought it was sweet.
Yeah, I haven't mentioned this too much on the podcast, if at all, but I really like cream cheese filled pretzels. They're not at a lot of places.
No.
I'm not a huge sour cherry person, so I don't think I'll try that. But it does remind me that I need to go try a cream cheese filled pretzel again, because I know some weekly tier we were at got me one. Was it Jill or Deanne got me one?
No, it was Kate got us one.
Kate got
and
us
it was
one,
like
that's
perfect.
right.
It was the toffee, like a toffee.
It was good. The churro, I can see that being something exciting for people. I will say the picture the Disney food blog used, it looked like they dipped it in butter. I was like, this looks very
it's cream
kind of
cheese.
unappealing.
Yeah.
It is cream cheese. I'm sorry, but I feel like in general, my favorite churro is plain churro, because we've had so many variations on churros.
But they're fun.
I'd like to try a regular. I wonder if you can. I'll bet you can. I'll bet you can get a regular churro and buy a cream cheese dipping sauce on the side.
Yeah,
because that might be good.
It is. The cream cheese dipping sauce is, separate. So yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to.
Are you a sour cherry person?
I'm not. And I don't know, like the things that I have had that were sour cherry, I wouldn't have described them as being sweet. Definitely like sour with like sweet on the back end. So to me, what I have had for that flavor, my memory of that flavor, I cannot.
So you're thinking like sour pretzel.
So I'm not wrapping my head around this. I'm going to trust the people that have tried it and said it was good and that it was actually sweet. But my initial thought of that was, what?
Somebody on Instagram, I think, took over the Hojo account, and they had a churro that had some type of peanut butter sauce or something on it, but it wasn't very much, and they said like ask for more peanut butter sauce, and in the picture it looked like there was not a lot of this sauce, but I'm kind of intrigued by that, like the peanut butter.
We've had peanut butter on churros before.
Yeah, but I like peanut butter and I like churros.
It's usually a mixture of chocolate, peanut butter, and marshmallow is usually what your like,
because that's like a s'more
churro is.
Except for the peanut butter.
They've had s'mores churros, yes, that were chocolate and marshmallow. They dusted some graham crackers on it. Then they had like a chocolate peanut butter one. And there was like the fluffernutter churro, which was all three of the things. So yeah, I feel like a lot of
Oreo one.
I'm sure. I think so. Yeah,
because that might be good too.
I think it's really fun that they're getting away from always doing those three main ingredients: chocolate, marshmallow,
like the
and
lemon
peanut butter.
thing.
The lemon one, yeah. So I think it's fun that we're expanding it a little bit. But yeah.
You know what I want more of?
Interesting.
I want more savory treats around the parks, because I feel like we always talk about a lot of sweet treats.
There is one, I didn't put it in the news, and apparently I should have.
Okay.
They're over in DCA. They have these, what did they call them? I want to say they were like deep fried tamales was what they called them.
Oh.
And so they were like, they almost looked like.
Was this on Disney Food Blog?
Disney Food Blog, yep. They were round. So when you think tamales, you think like long kind of skinny things. No, not that. So these were like round, so more kind of like the fritters we had, like that shape.
Okay.
And they were filled, it was chicken on the inside, and then it was the masa, which is what of course a tamale is like encased in, and then deep fried, and they said they were really really good. Now this is something I really would like to stick around so that I can try, because that sounds great to me.
At Studio Catering Company.
So we'll read the description since we're now putting this in the news.
A fried masa filled with chicken, then topped with salsa verde, sour cream, pickled onions, and cotija cheese.
Doesn't that sound? It sounds so good. I bet you, like, after they come, like, if they're like fresh and warm, I bet you they just melt in your mouth. It sounds so good.
Well, happy Lunar New Year. This year's celebration is proving to be quite popular, judging by the lines for food being so long. Part of the slowdown is the fewer booths than the other food festivals.
Yeah, it's kind of been crazy, actually, for this, because MyStart was reporting, and there's photos of it, and other places have reported, too.
We had Weeklyteers.
Weeklyteers that were in the park that said the lines were just seemed crazy long. But, I mean, they're, like, snaking around like none other, and people are waiting like hours in total to get their food, which, I mean, we had a couple of waits when we were there for Festival of the Holidays, but nothing that was snaking around, and I just can't imagine.
So from our experience, I know it's different, but from one at the Food and Wine, was it?
No, so
what were we there just for? Oh, the holidays, Festival of the Holidays. What do you like? Our stuff was slow sometimes too. What do you think is causing it to be so slow?
I think it's because we were trying to count with some of the booths. There's only like 2 to 4, depending on the booth, 2 to 4 cast members prepping all this stuff. So I think, it's just a small space. It's a small, compact space. So you can't have too many cast members in there prepping and putting stuff together. And then depending on what it is, it might take a little bit longer to actually get the things together. They want them to be warm and fresh, so they're not going to have, 20 of them laying out on the back counter. That kind of thing. I
wish they would do that, though, because I feel like that would make the line go a lot faster.
I don't think they have A, space, or B, like the means to keep it warm if they did it that way. So they either need to get bigger booths, or the setup just needs to be changed, which is good news. You know, it stinks right now. It's not fun right now. But really, they're outgrowing their booths. They're outgrowing the booths, which is exciting because that means these festivals are popular and that this food is great. So hopefully in the near future, we will either see more booths or larger booths, or they'll fix the problem.
Yeah, I wish that they would do like 2 booths of the same thing, because they have less booths for this event than they do for other events. So it's not like they don't have the actual booths. But again, it could be a staffing thing, which we've talked about before.
Well, you don't have to wait in long lines at the Lunar New Year celebration to get one of the highlights. Mice Chat has posted a garlic noodle copycat recipe. This is one of the recipes at one of the festival booths. The meal takes about 20 minutes to make and takes about 10 ingredients. Basically, you cook the pasta, toss the other ingredients in a pan, cook, then combine to eat. It looks so good.
So I'm confused by this copycat recipe. So when I see pictures of this dish online, literally all it looks like to me is noodles, Parmesan, and like there's probably some garlic in there somewhere. This seems like it's darker.
It's fancier.
Is it? So did they?
I think it's a little
elevated.
Yeah.
Because to me, I thought it seemed the dish at Disneyland. Again, I have not had it, but from the description and what it looks like maybe they put like some oil and garlic in, and then they cook the noodles in it, and then they put Parmesan on top, and you're done. Which that sounds amazing. But I was looking at this, and it has things, soy sauce and some other things and whatever, and the sauce that they mix it into and the garlic pieces are like browner, and I'm like, I don't see anything that looks like that in the actual meal.
So for this copycat recipe, they cook the sliced garlic and almost like they get it to caramelize, which is not something that it looks like maybe happening for the festival booth. So this is one that they just, I think, took a little bit more time to do. But yeah, it looks, I know I want to try it. The biggest difference to me, though, is the caramelized garlic, I think, is what I'm noticing is different. But I definitely want to try this. We might be trying this weekend, in fact.
Yeah, I want to try something about this because I love garlic and I love noodles. And everybody keeps raving about these noodles.
It's been getting really, really high reviews from everybody that's had them at the festival.
Well, I have about a bajillion things of garlic at my house, so I can definitely try it. Well, Tomorrowland has some new merchandise that is wonderful. The new collection features the attractions of Tomorrowland, like Space Mountain and the People Mover. There's even a design for the land itself. The Tomorrowland hooded long-sleeve t-shirt is $59.99 and has Tomorrowland in blue on the front, with drawings of past attractions as a pattern all over. The People Mover shirt, my favorite, is a gray t-shirt with dark blue borders, the People Mover logo in the front, and a sketch-like design of the Disneyland People Mover on the bottom for $29.99. Finally, there's a Space Mountain t-shirt, which is black with Space Mountain flights departing daily from Tomorrowland on the front, with the exterior of the attraction over the text for $24.99.
These are gorgeous.
The People Mover one.
So gorgeous. The People Mover t-shirt and the Tomorrowland sweatshirt are by far my favorite. I mean, yes, yay, we love Space Mountain. It's just, for me, I don't like the design as well for that one because, like Tig said, there's kind of this sketch quality to the People Mover t-shirt. It almost looks like blueprints or something. I don't know. It's very cool. And then the Tomorrowland sweatshirt I really like because unless you look at the picture closer or look at it close up, you can't see it really from afar. They have lighter sketches, which have like the rocket and there's the buckets in there, some old classic, kind of like more classic stuff. I just really love I really like the style.
This People Mover one, the sketch picture thing at the bottom really makes me want to go back to the People Mover.
I know, it's almost like they shouldn't have this in Disneyland. It's like they're teasing.
But this is one of the few times I've seen a People Mover piece of apparel that isn't the Disney World People Mover, because it is different, folks. It is different. I mean, they're similar, but like the ride vehicles look different.
With Mardi Gras coming up, there is a new dessert at the French Market to celebrate. The Mardi Gras coconut cake is $7.99 and has 3 layers of sponge cake and, of course, purple, yellow, and green, with coconut cream between the layers and pastry cream dusted with coconut flakes on the outside. This is a limited time item, so act quick if this sounds delicious to you.
I just realized, Teresa, that you had put a second link in there for a strawberry lemon cake at Plaza Inn. You could talk about that
all
one,
the cake.
I'm not a lemon person.
So the strawberry lemon cake also looks very good. Lemon sponge cake with strawberry and lemon buttercream filling it. And then it's also topped with some fun little those little crunchy ball things. And it looks like a candied piece of lemon on top. Anyways, the reviews for that is that it's light and refreshing. Yum. I don't know if this is specifically for Valentine's, but it kind of gives me spring vibes, which I'm not mad about.
Yeah. So, again, I'm not a lemon person, one. 2, when it comes to, like, sprinkles, I hate those balls. So this cake is just... No, I like the only sprinkles I like are those, like, the tubular-looking ones. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The ones that taste like... They taste like plastic or something.
They taste like sugar.
See, like
these crunch too much. I don't like the crunch.
Oh, I like the crunch. I like the texture.
But this Mardi Gras coconut cake, first of all, I love coconut. I love the 3 colors of cake they got here. They say in the thing, what was the word that we're supposed to use instead of moist? Because we had this whole conversation one of the nights.
We never got a word.
Okay, well, this cake looks very wet.
Very delicious. Very scrumptious.
Not dry. It looks not dry, because I know some people don't like the M word. But it looks great. They've got coconut on the side, which looks like it's with food coloring colored in the different colors from Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
I'm very
looks like confetti,
sad. It does. I'm sad because I don't think this will be there when we're there, but I would so eat this.
No, unless it hangs out a little bit longer than Mardi Gras actually is.
But their cakes in general are usually pretty good. I like Disneyland cakes.
Oh, Disneyland makes fantastic cakes, I think. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of one that wasn't delicious. I've had ones that are better than other ones for sure, but I can't ever think of one that we tried that was like dry and crumbly and just lacked flavor and just not good. So, I mean, yeah, they do a great job.
Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and there are plenty of things to do in the parks, as well as downtown Disney and the hotels of the Disneyland Resort. Specials from Black Tap Craft Burgers and Shakes, California Soul, Kayla's Cake, Love Pop, Pandora, and more are all offering specials. At the hotels, the Tenaya Stone Spa has a Rosé and Roses foot treatment. The Grand California Lobby has treats at the Holiday Cart. The GCH Craftsman Bar will have an assortment of cocktails and more. For all the details, check out the link in our show notes. There's so much on this list.
Tons. And like Tag said, this is basically just, everything outside the parks, and there's tons and tons of options. I am really excited about the Love Pop. Yes, food. Yay, more sweets. We have lots of sweets. But the thing I'm really excited about, though, is the Love Pop stuff. I think their cards are so fun, and what a fun time to get someone special one of these fun special cards. I mean, they have a little tiny, it's Grogu holding a little Valentine. I mean, come on, how cute.
Valentine's Day is all about calories and having sweets.
Sweets.
But I will tell you, I was reading this one thing that sounded amazing at Kayla's Cake. They have a Happy Valentine. They have a pink heart-shaped macarons made with Persian rose buttercream.
Ooh.
That sounds, macarons. Sounds amazing.
Fancy.
And then these cocktails that they're going to have at the Craftsman Bar and the Coffee House.
Yeah.
Is there having a red velvet cupcake?
The other fun thing too is that if you're staying at one of the Disney hotels, so the Disneyland Hotel, Disneyland's Paradise Pier Hotel, or the Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, you can actually purchase a Valentine's Day basket.
Oh.
The basket includes a Mickey Mouse Musketeer ears, Minnie Mouse sequin ears, a box of, you guessed it, macarons, and a silver Disney frame. So for more details, just make sure you visit the front desk when you arrive. The deliveries will take place February 11th through the 14th. Of course, limited quantities of this will be available. They did not share what the price was. So if you are interested in this, contact the hotel and see if it's something you can get for your stay. I thought that was a fun little extra.
That is cool. That I love that like little pack thing like that. That'd be a great like couples. You go to the stay there.
I don't know why they don't do. They should do this all the time.
They should.
Well, if that wasn't enough Valentine's fun and food choices for you, the Disney Parks blog has released their foodie guide to Valentine's Day. There are a ton of options between the U.S. parks listed, but Disneyland locations like Red Rose Tavern, Galactic Grill, Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor, Alien Pizza Planet, and many, many more have great limited time treats. There were a couple savory options in this list. I don't know if you noticed that tag.
I did not notice that.
So once you scroll all the way through the miles and miles and miles of Disney World and get to Disneyland.
Oh, yeah, there was the burger. I saw that.
Yep. So for savory items, we have a spicy Nash chicken sandwich at the Galactic Grill. There's a space dip pizza slice, spinach and artichoke dip, chicken, capicola, and cheeses on that piece of pizza.
Interesting. Spinach artichoke dip on a pizza. Mm-hmm. I love spinach artichoke dip.
And then there's also a savory option for Sweethearts Night. It is the ham and straw brie sandwich from the Jolly Holiday. I was excited that there were some savory options.
Is that this?
Yeah. Doesn't that look interesting? Lots of good stuff.
Because it's got brie on it. That looks really good.
And strawberries. I'm also excited about the Tropical Hideaway has a special Valentine Dole Whip. It's watermelon and cherry swirl.
Psst! Avast there. There be squalls ahead, and James and Vern waiting for them what don't answer correctly.
Welcome back to Trivia Land, where we're going to have 5, because we're going to have a bonus question tonight. Listener submitted questions for you. How you feeling? Are you ready?
Ready.
I don't know. Trees. James was good last time, so I feel like you always pick the hard ones, Vern.
Well, I only pick what the listeners submit for me.
Okay.
For us. For you.
Submit.
For everyone.
In general.
Yes, they submit for all of us.
I mean,
We're
it really is for everybody.
It is.
Yes, no, seriously. I may sound mocking, but I'm being serious. This is for everyone. It's for you to get, and it's for me to give, and it's for everyone to listen. It's a group project here. So let's see what we've got for you tonight. Your first listener submitted question from listener Liberty M. Where are the 4 hidden Mickeys on Pinocchio's Daring Adventure attraction?
Ooh. There's one in Geppetto's shop.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
It's like on top of this display cabinet.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Geppetto's shop.
Okay. There's probably one on there's probably one on Pleasure Island somewhere. I feel like there's a lot going on in there, so there's probably one in there, right?
I think there's something there's like a popcorn stand.
Oh yeah, the popcorn. One of the popcorn things make it. Yep.
Popcorn stand in
Actually knew
the
that
Pleasure Island room.
Mm-hmm.
You said 4, huh?
Yes.
Is there one? Oh, that was the shop. I was gonna say, were you talking about his shop at the end or at the beginning, or is that the bedroom at the end where the blue fairy is?
The blue fairies. There's 2. So like the shop is where you like the last room with all the cuckoo clocks and all that.
Oh,
stuff.
okay. And that's where you were saying that. Okay. I'm trying to remember the rest of this attraction.
I'm gonna say that there's one in the billiards hall.
Mm-hmm. I love that effect when I can't remember his name. He turns around and his ears.
Lampwick?
Yeah. I need to watch Pinocchio again. I haven't seen Pinocchio in a long time. That's what I should do. I've been going through all these TV shows and stuff. What I should do when I have time is I should start and go through all the animated classics.
I think the other ones, in the room with Stromboli, I think there's 3 cages, like the base of 3 cages together.
Yes, I will concur.
Are you gonna take those?
I don't have any better guesses than that.
All right.
Hey, I helped with the popcorn, or I helped with that. Mm-hmm.
You agreed after I said it.
No, I said that it was in the whatever area, and then you said popcorn, and I said, yes, that's right. Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Teamwork.
Are those your final answers?
Yes, those are our final answers.
Okay. Your second listener submitted question from Ruben O. What is the flight number of our Star Speeder when we board Star Tours? And you're really cool if you know the significance of that number.
All I can think of is Space Mountain 77 everywhere, which is not the correct.
I thought it was like... See, I'm getting all my numbers mixed up because I feel like it's like 1901, but that doesn't sound right either.
Not 1901. Unless it's 1977 and a nods to space.
I'm
gonna. That's what I'm gonna say. 1977.
Or is it
Space Mountain.
1401?
That's Pixar stuff, isn't it?
No, 1401 is the address of Imagineering. I'm going to say 1401, and it's the address of Imagineering, I think. I don't know why that sounds right to me.
And Teresa, you're sticking with 1977?
I don't know. Tag's answer sounds better, so...
Hey, at least I have one.
1401. Yeah, I think it's 1401.
Are those your final answers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Flight 1401.
Yeah, that sounds
I'm
right.
Positive, yeah.
Although this is like the banjo. I feel like we just think it's right.
That's true. Unless, dang it, it's not something to do with the films itself. Like,
I don't think so. It's not 77, 80, or 83.
Is it 77?
I don't think so.
No. Is it 77 or is it like 76?
77 is when the movie came out.
Okay.
But
Anyway.
76 is when the book was copyrighted.
What?
76 is when the book was copyrighted.
Okay.
Just stick with 1401.
We will. So many possibilities.
Your third question from listener Elise K. What was Disneyland's cast member cafeteria called, and where was it located?
It was the in-between, and it was in between... Well, you can do it a couple ways. It was in between
Plaza Inn.
Yeah, it was behind Plaza Inn. It was in between Main Street and Tomorrowland.
Are those your final answers?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was also the one in New Orleans
I
Square.
don't remember what that one was called, like the Pit or something, because it was underground.
It was, and it was themed like race car stuff, I want to say, because of that.
Yeah, so maybe it was the Pit.
But I think the in-between is the one that most people would think of.
And how do you spell that?
The in-between?
I-N-N.
between?
Okay, just checking. Your fourth question from listener Chris Y. Bopping over to Disney California Adventure for a second. Where are Luigi's cousins visiting from?
Italy?
Specifically? I have shame upon my family.
Shame.
Because I feel like Simone is like screaming at the podcast if he was listening. I'm going to say...
Is it Sicily?
Yeah, Sicily sounds like a good one. And, why am I blanking? What's the famous one where it's like sinking or flooding? In Italy? Venice.
Oh.
I'll say Venice. I don't think that's right, but I'll say it.
I'll say Sicily.
Are they visiting from the same place? I thought we had to come up with 2. That's why I kept going.
Are we supposed to come up with 1 or 2?
I asked where are they visiting from.
I don't know. Do you want? Are you
See, he said
Sicily
they, so I'm
or
like
Venice. They like the cousins.
I'll stick with Venice.
Venice.
And you'll stick with Sicily. I feel like this is a point for you.
And your bonus question from listener Kevin M. What ride can you continuously ride in Disneyland without getting off?
The train.
Yeah,
That'd be
Railroad.
fun if if I lived there and had time to kill to just like test that. How long can you ride the train?
I don't know.
Because I'm sure I don't know if it's the same train or if they swap things out.
Well,
or,
they have a couple trains running, but I
Right.
assume like during the middle of the day when it's busiest, they probably have more trains out. So it'd be like whenever they do that. Also, it'd be interesting just to see like how often they fill it with water and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Like, I mean, I feel like I'd have 100 questions for them with the train.
So is that your final answer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, you're sticking with that? All right. Well, listeners, how do you think they did? Do you think they got all right answers? How did you do listening at home? Stick around till after today's discussion, and we'll all find out together.
Well, this week for our discussion topic, we are concluding our conversation with Vincent, who, of course, was a voice actor and in the Disney Plus movie that just came out this last Friday, Ice Age, The Adventures of Buck Wild. So enjoy our conclusion. So Disney Plus has been releasing a lot of cool stuff lately, and one of the things that I enjoyed watching was they had this whole what was it? It was like the making of like Frozen or whatever thing.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked to see how often the voice talent had to come in and like record things or do things slightly differently because they've decided they're going to change something, and how down to the wire it is actually that stuff is not complete until like right before. For a big movie like that just shocks me. So can you talk a little bit about the is that pretty accurate? Do you go in and do like one read of something and then like they call you back later for doing something different, or we've totally gone in a different direction, we have to read the whole thing, or how does that all work?
Tag all of the above, basically. But I can, I guess, talk about my experience with Ice Age.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, I won't talk about the movie per se, just because it is coming out.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't want to know what happens. We got to be excited.
So how it started was they wanted to do like a promo. So it's like an in-house promo of this idea. I assume a lot of it can be speculation on my behalf of just like thinking that they want to potentially make this into a show or a movie or whatnot. So I did this called scratch track. So a lot of times we do scratch tracks, which is I as a voice actor will be given a part or several parts, and we will record the whole script. Now, this script was like maybe like a 2-minute teaser or promo just for their in-house to see or whoever they're pitching it to. And then the understanding usually is once you do the scratch track, they will get the celebrities to record what you did, like dub over it. And they are the celebrities that will have their names on the poster and everything. And that's how they'll sell the movie. So I did the scratch track for Crash the Possum.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened? And then it was like a year later, they wanted to do, they asked me to do a scratch track of the whole movie.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, great. It got greenlit. That's nice. But I'll just do this scratch track for the movie for whenever the celebrities, get to do it. So a lot of times I did a scratch track for Ratchet and Clank as well, the movie, and ended up booking the part. And I thought it was just a scratch track. And they told me, they're like, you're just the temp. They're going to hire all these, because all my friends were playing like Ratchet, and I knew that was like James Arnold Taylor. And then Clank was David Kay. And then all these other people I knew were going to be like Sylvester Stallone, Bella Thorne, Rosario Dawson. And then for whatever reason, I got a check one day, because you don't get paid much when you're doing the scratch track. But I was like, oh, what's this for? And I was like, does this mean I made it to the movie? And my agent's like, yeah, it means you got it. I'm like, no. And I literally did not believe it. And then like the online stuff was like, they're doing the PR and releasing it. They're like, oh my gosh, you got the part. It was like Vincent Tong along with like Sylvester Stallone, John Goodman. Like my name was up there. I'm like, I think I got it. And I literally still didn't really believe it until I went to the theater with my friends and saw the Ratchet and Clank movie in the theater. And I heard my voice. I'm like, that's me. Oh my gosh, that's me. And at the very end, there's the credits that roll. If anyone's ever seen it, they do a cool, kind of like the old school A-Team montage where like all the characters will be like doing something, then they'll pause, and then there's a wash. And then the name of the celebrity will come up. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I don't know if I'm going to get one. And then they put like Sylvester Stallone, John Goodman. And I was like, they went to the baddies, the villains. And then all of a sudden my character came on. I was like, and he said, Vincent Tong. And I was like, so yeah, I was thrilled. Tangent, going back to Crash and Ice Age. So I'm doing this scratch track for the whole movie, and I'm like, this is super fun. And I'm like, it's a scratch track. I'm working with like the casting directors and the voice director and the director of the movie. And I'm just like, I'm going to throw my own stuff in there, which I love to do as a voice actor. And if there are any aspiring voice actors out there, that's something that I really think benefits you to kind of literally put your own spin on it. Don't rewrite the script. You're not better than the writers, but to add a little bit of your own take on the character. So if he's like picking this thing up and going like, the line is, "What is this?" I could just be like, "What is this?" Or I could be like, "What is this?" You know, just something a little bit different. So I kind of injected a lot of my own humor and my own personality into Crash, and they really loved it. I got some good feedback from my Zoom kind of scratch track recording session, which was really nice. But you just go like, oh, that's nice. Hopefully they'll ask me to audition for something down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't hear for a while. And then all of a sudden my agent says they would like to offer you the part of Crash, which was like, what? This is crazy. What are you talking about? Because I know that this has been a series for a super long time. Like, I don't know why they're offering. And then to this day, I don't know why I got it. Hopefully because I was good and I did a good job. But yeah, it was a total shock to me, and I was just so thrilled. And working with John, the director, and Lori was just super sweet. She was with Ice Age from the very beginning, and the whole team, all the creatives were just super sweet and super nice and encouraging. They were very, very encouraging of what I could bring to the table. And they loved to play. And they were like, we love what you do. Please, always do one pass of what's written, and then please do whatever you want. And I was like, wow, like that is such a gift for an actor to hear that. Because then you know the team trusts you and is appreciative of what you're bringing to the table. So for me, it was just an absolute dream to be working on this show and to voice Crash and to be working with a franchise such as Ice Age and knowing that it is going to be on Disney Plus. I'm like such a huge Disney nerd. I'm like, this is a movie. It's going to be on Disney Plus. And I literally didn't know who the other casts were. So that's another thing. I'm recording individually by myself, which is harder. I love working with the full cast because then you get to feed off of each other.
Yeah.
And I literally didn't know who else was in the movie until I saw the promos and stuff myself.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then to watch the trailer, and I'm like, I'm the first voice on the trailer. I was just like gushing. I was just so giddy. That's
amazing to me that you can work on a project like I always thought that the cast would know who else they're in the cast. You know what I mean? So it's so interesting that and I guess when you're doing voice work, it's different, right? Because all of you could be in your own homes doing your own individual parts. You don't need to all be in a room together. I mean, I've seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff. James and I watched a whole thing about like Clone Wars and how they would all be sitting there doing Clone Wars stuff. And, obviously you're all together. But now with COVID and stuff, I guess it's good and bad, right? Because you don't have to go anywhere. You could do it from your home.
Sometimes you can, yeah. But that camaraderie and that, I feel like the acting and the reacting is just so much better when you have your fellow cast with you and your friends you're acting off of. Yeah.
So with any movie, let's keep talking about Ice Age. How long was it into the process that you got to like meet and see Crash on and see what this character actually looked like?
Right. Sometimes they shared storyboards, which is, very informative of what's going on, and then I could really see what's going on and it informs my performance as well. Be like, oh, if I'm dropping from 20 feet high, I didn't know that. My first take was just like, oh, I fell off of a chair. So it doesn't really make sense. So it was probably into like pickups. So pickups is what happens when things change, lines change, something wasn't funny enough, you didn't do this good enough, or they just had something wasn't working, so they'll rewrite something, or they'll get you to pick up the line that you did before just wasn't clear enough. And so I think it was within the pickups that I got to see some footage, and I was like, whoa, this land is beautiful. The jungle looks gorgeous. And then seeing the animatics of the boys just kind of, you see it in the trailer where they like, I put a stick right into this glacier and it kind of falls down. So, and then I saw the sequence of them. So it was just really cool, like seeing that stuff. But yeah, it was a bit later on in the process.
Because I can see, because I think, when I think of voice acting, for some reason, I always think of the behind the scenes with the genie and Robin Williams bringing the genie to life, and how so much of that was completely off the book and just Robin doing his thing. And so I always wonder with how do you as the voice and then the people that are also animating, like how, it's interesting to me how that process comes together, because
totally
you could have two different takes there. Absolutely.
And I think that's what I was, to call back to that, when you have a team that allows you to play, like I'm never going to get to the caliber of Robin Williams. My God, I don't think anyone can touch him. But to be able to improvise and to play, that's like the joy. That's my joy. That's where I find my joy. And I don't know if it, how many of it or how much of it's going to make it into the actual movie, but to have them encourage that was just such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And but it was also cool that they had like a camcorder as well, kind of filming me as I'm delivering the lines, because I think that helps inform the animators of like, what is his face doing? What is he looking at? And we're gesticulating. My arms are flying all over the place. But yeah.
That's crazy.
So is the first time you're going to be able to see this when it premieres to everybody?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know, man. I would be so nervous. Is that typical?
Yeah. That is very typical. Yeah, we don't get like screeners or like sneak peeks or anything. Simon Pegg might. He plays Buck Wild. He plays Buck in the movie, and we had a little name dropping. Simon slid into my DMs. We had a little chat on Instagram. Just like he's like super stoked about the movie, and I think it's gonna be a fun ride.
That's a very fun name to drop, Simon Pegg.
Right?
Super fun.
I have this thing you dropped here, Vincent. I think it's
it's Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg, yes. Just dropping that. Now, I just gotta say that I am so happy to have you on the podcast and add to our repertoire of people that we've talked to. So we had Dylan, who was the genie at Disney California Adventure, who was amazing as the genie. I don't know if you ever got to see that show, but it was amazing. We had Andy Mack on as a voice actor as well. So, and now yourself. So it's so cool to have so many people that actually know anything about our podcast be able to come on and talk about this stuff. And I know it's not specifically Disneyland necessarily related, but I still think that it's something that, a lot of the people in our community love watching movies and they love watching Disney stuff. Of course, most of them have Disney Plus. And so being able to talk to somebody on our show that's going to be in something that they're going to be able to see on Disney Plus is so cool. And I'm so happy you reached out to us, because I just find the whole process of making movies and stuff fascinating. And I think our audience is really going to like hearing about that too. And I'll bet you this gets them excited to watch Ice Age. Now I feel like I need to go watch all the other Ice Age movies. I mean, I feel like it's Ice Age in the Midwest right now, because it's -4 right now, and that's not counting the wind chill.
Not warm here at all.
Goodness.
But yeah, no, just learning, it's one of those things that I'm sure for you do this all the time. So it's just, just what it is, but fascinating. That was
I feel
so cool.
Literally, I am so grateful every day.
Yeah.
So grateful. I feel extremely blessed to be where I am and to do what I get to do for a living. I don't take it for granted for a single second.
I cannot believe that you don't get to see the movie until like the theater. That's so crazy to me. Wow. The whole process is just really interesting. Like I said, like Tag was mentioning, all of the behind the scene peaks that we've had because of Disney Plus and the things that they've put together really has opened our eyes to what the process is like.
Yeah. Like to drop something, not name drop, but I do have a show it's called Supernatural Academy that's on Peacock.
Okay.
It just got released today.
Wow.
So yeah, check
You've
that out.
been busy.
I've been busy. Yeah, it's been nice. I've been very, very blessed. Very blessed. Yeah. So that's a really cool show. It's, I don't know, to describe it. It's like almost like Twilight meets
Ooh.
Harry Potter, but young adult. It's based off of a young adult novel. And if there are any Strawberry Shortcake fans, you can watch Strawberry Shortcake. What is that? It's on YouTube. I play Huckleberry Pie.
Cute.
I was just looking at all of the. I was just looking because you do have a Wikipedia page.
Awesome.
And there's a bunch of stuff listed here. So I was just you have a ton of animation credits.
Is it true? Is it all true? I don't know.
I do have to
I didn't
ask
write it.
because I see something on this list that is something I enjoy.
Uh-oh.
Lego Jurassic World.
Yes.
You do quite a few voices in there.
Do I? I don't know. I better look at that.
Well, it says you do Dr. Henry Wu,
Yes, that is for sure.
the
Dr. Wu.
prestigious security team member number 1,
Yeah, I don't know what he sounds like.
Mr. DNA.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that's right. Mr. DNA. For the
Yeah.
very first episode, I was so stoked that I got to do Mr. DNA. It's like, what is it? Well, when the mosquito goes into the amber, and then blah blah blah. I don't know. I forget what else.
Yeah.
It was literally on the screen for like a second.
I like how you have security team, park employee,
Yeah, he's probably this guy.
happy man.
Yep, I'm happy. I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm just laughing because I love these. Dino trainer, hotel manager, kid number 3, repair crew
Yes.
member, Marcus. Somebody has a name in the middle of it.
Nice.
And park worker number 2.
Yeah, he was so different than Park Work number.
I feel like you had to dig deep for that one,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Deep, deep. Yeah. Really
That's so crazy.
Man, now I just and I've got to go watch like a bunch of this stuff now because you've made
things.
me interested talking about your roles and working on it that I'm like I want to go see this now.
That
See
that
these
show
things.
was super fun to do. Dr. Wu, played by the amazing actor B.D. Wong on the movies. He's
who's kind of evil, but
he was exactly. So he's a bit strange in this Lego version as well. But it's just like kind of goofy. It's a goofy kind of show, and it's a lower budget show. So of course, like probably paying for Mr. Jeff Goldblum to come is going to be more expensive. So we had a dude audition, and he came in and he did his Jeff Goldblum impersonation. So he plays, I forget his name,
Ian Malcolm.
Yes, Malcolm. Yes, and someone else that came in as Attenborough's part. It was just like really cool to hear these guys who can just like match their voice, and that's another thing that a lot of voice actors do as well is voice matching. When a celebrity can't do it or an actor can't do this part or whatnot, and you try to do the sound.
That's
Jeff
cool.
Goldblum he's one of those. He's kind of like Johnny Depp, where like everything he's in, he's just himself.
Yes.
Like that's the
Yeah.
character. Yeah,
Which is amazing and so charming and charismatic, and you could just watch it. And I think that's why he has that show with Disney Plus.
yeah.
And he just talks about ice cream.
Yeah.
I like the strawberry.
Yeah, that's
And he's
exactly.
like, oh, great. And I'm like, yeah, I will still watch this. Even though you're taking a while
I
to
just-
say it.
It's still entertaining.
I think about the production of this because I've watched a few. Because there's like a fireworks episode, and like they talk about some really cool stuff. They give you some history, but he'll talk to people. There was like a barbecue episode, and he was out like in the sticks with these like rugged barbecue men, right?
Right.
Like deliverance going on, and then he goes over and he talks to his cameraman, and he's just like, there's this wonder. Kind of like you were doing that, like weird pausing, like he's thinking of it, like as
His
he's in.
cadence is so weird. It's so strange, and I don't think it's put on per se, but
Right.
interesting. Yeah, it's just like he's got this cadence that's so specific to him. That's so beautiful,
Yeah.
and you want to. He's awesome. Isn't he?
There's something intriguing about him too, and it works well for the parts that he's played. So, and I think his cadence has gotten more pronounced as he's gotten older. Because like in the world of recording Jeff Goldblum, it's like really bad. But you go back to things like Independence Day or Jurassic Park, and you're like, okay, your cadence is a little faster.
Yeah, I know. We didn't talk about Disneyland that much, but I do have a cool Disneyland story to go back to. So I was down in LA doing, it was called Equestria LA. That was the My Little Pony convention there. And so one of the things, so as like attendees, you can buy different like specialty packages. Like you can
Sure.
get have the these signed autographs from these voice actors, or you can attend a cocktail hour with us and chat and blah blah blah. And one of them, because it was in LA, in Anaheim, was to spend a day in Disneyland with me and Andrea Libman, who plays
Perfect.
okay, Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie. So there was 6 of us, and I was like, this is how I was like, oh my gosh, someone's paying me. This is amazing. We had a very special guest who was a member of Club 33.
Oh.
So it was such an honor and a pleasure and such a huge surprise that we got invited to Club 33.
So not only did you get paid to go to Disneyland.
Yes. I got paid to go to Club 33.
Wow. That's a whole nother level.
Yes, because I'm a super nerd. No one really knew what Club 33 was, but I was like, stop. Can you repeat that? We're going to Club 33. I'm like, I got chills. Can you say that one more time? And he's like, not only that, here's a pin for Club 33. I'm like, oh my God. And so and I guess with the bonus of that, we had a VIP plaid.
Yeah.
We got to go around with a plaid for the morning, and we got to go on to different rides, through the fast pass lane. And it was just like such a treat. Just being so like hampered by this experience. And then we had a road Splash Mountain right before Club 33. No one wanted to go on it. But I'm like, I'll go on the front if we go. So, because I love that ride.
Mm-hmm.
That was another favorite ride of mine that I'm like, I don't know which one's my favorite. But anyway, I went down, got drenched, and then we went to Club 33. And I was just like thrilled because I've always like took pictures by the sign, and like no one knows like, why do you want a picture with this 33? I'm like, no, because it's a secret club. Let me tell you about it. Everyone's like, no, it's okay. So when we like rang the doorbell and we're like, oh my gosh, we're going to Club 33, and we go in, and you're in the Court of Angels, which was open before, but now it's all closed off, and you get ushered upstairs, and you see like the 33 mosaic on the floor. You see, I think Lillian's piano is there, and it was just spectacular. It looked beautiful up there. We had this huge long table right in front, overlooking the rivers of America.
Wow.
Mark Twain's there, and you can go out on the well, they call them balconies. No, they're called galleries in New Orleans. I love New Orleans, by the way. So we went onto the gallery, and we're like, oh, look down there. There's people. They're all bustling and cranky, and we're up here. It's just sort of like hoity-toity, like watching people going into Pirates or lining up at the other. what's the other one that serves the Monte Cristos? What's that restaurant?
Cafe Orleans?
No.
Cafe Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
I think it is, yes. So, yeah.
Blue
so
Bayou is the other one, too.
That's right. And so watching, and you just get to sit up there, take pictures. You couldn't take any videos, but we took tons of pictures. And it was just such a thrill to dine there at Club 33. And I, of course, I'm a huge coffee drinker, so I ordered a little like a soy macchiato or something. And then they have a little like stencil where they dust chocolate, and it's in the 33. And you're just like, I'm like,
you're like, thanks. Now I can't drink this.
Right? Yeah.
It's too pretty.
Instagram. And then we just continued the day riding rides, and then at the very end we got VIP seats to Fantasmic, which was like unbelievable that we got that. Like we showed up like maybe 3 minutes before the show and got to sit down right at the rails and watch it. And it was in November, and then it started snowing, right? The Disneyland snow.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys, this is the most magical day I've ever had. And some of these guys have never been to Disneyland. So I'm like, don't expect this every time because this is special. It was just like the most magical day of Disneyland.
Could you imagine that being your first trip?
Yeah, every trip after that would be terrible.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? I'm just... Okay, so Teresa and I went like very last minute in the beginning of December, and I'm contrasting what we thought was such an amazing trip to what you thought was an amazing trip, because we were like, we broke down on Space Mountain twice. It was amazing. What else happened?
Got a candy cane.
We got a candy cane.
You're the rebel
no,
spy.
you know what? I love those moments too, though. That's the thing. Yeah. I love getting trapped on rides, except for Splash Mountain 3 times. Because you literally didn't get to go on the ride, but we got to go around and see. It's not as cool as Space Mountain. I have been on Space. I have ridden it in the dark. No, with the light.
Yeah,
the light.
All the lights were on, and I rode it, and I was like, "This looks really bad." They should really turn the lights.
You're like, please turn the lights back off. We don't want to see this.
But this is so funny because you're like, I had this great day at Club 33. We got VIP. It was wonderful, and I'm like, man, that's how we were talking about our last trip when we got like stuck on things, and
which is the beautiful thing. I think that Disney is going to be a beautiful experience for whatever moment you're in, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to experience. And I'm going to have more beautiful moments, and it doesn't have to, be Club 33. And I've had awesome times with my wife where we got to ride Peter Pan twice. We didn't have to get off. At the very end of the night, I was like, can we ride again? She's like, sure. And I was like, oh, this is the best ever. We got to ride it twice. It was so cool.
And then you start doing voices to the lady. You're like, I'm Peter Pan. Or
like,
I don't know.
Boy.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I do think a surprise Club 33 would be like,
for a Disney nerd like me, I was just there. I don't know if there would have been a better surprise. It was like phenomenal. It was like a dream come true.
Well, it's like a once in a lifetime kind of thing. At least I know if we ever get there, it'll be like the one time ever, which I feel like it'd be very difficult. Because you were talking about that you were there, and I was like, they would have to drag me out of there because I would know that I wouldn't ever come back. So I would want to just take it in as much as possible. Yeah. Because it's Club 33, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't made it into the salon yet. That's another goal of mine, Disney goal. There's a salon area that you have to be accompanied by a member, I believe, to get into there.
Oh.
Yeah. But the restaurant itself is just spectacular. The service is beautiful. The food is really great. Yeah.
I will tell you, I don't know if you went to Disneyland during this time frame. You were probably doing Disney World at this time frame, but when Walt's apartment, which is like above Pirates, before that was 21 Royal, which is what it is now, super expensive meal. It was the Disney Gallery before the Dream Suite.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I loved going up there, and the fact that that's not open anymore makes me so sad because it was the perfect location for the Disney Gallery. Because it fit with everything else in New Orleans Square, because it was all like the fancy shopping. So you're like, the Disney Gallery, it fits right in.
Mm-hmm.
And you could walk around, and if you asked a cast member, they would give you like a tour and be like, this would have been Walt's bedroom. And this was the courtyard that he would have brought people to. And if you look, there's venting, because even though you're outside in the middle of summer when he has dignitaries and stuff, he wanted it to be comfortable, so it blasts air conditioning out into it, and all this stuff, and I was like, this is so cool, and I'm so glad I got to experience that. But it makes me so sad that the current generation of people that did not get to experience that, like Teresa, never got to experience that.
I never got to either.
Yeah, it was so cool. So I keep telling Teresa, I said, somehow we've got to save up some money and we got to get a group of 15 together and do that dining experience.
I didn't even know about this dining experience.
Yeah, it's $15,000. And
low price.
Or is it $12,000? It might be $12,000.
It's like a grand. It's
almost $1,000 a person, and you can have up to like 15 people or something. But you get this like you like meet with the chef beforehand, and like they create this whole meal for you and everything. But it's expensive. But of course, like
very fancy.
I'm trying to remember. I think it's one of
included.
That's what I'm thinking. I think it's like you need to have separate admission or something.
Probably.
So, like, thanks, Disney. Like you couldn't throw in like a pass to get in. Like we're paying $15,000 here.
I mean, with the Club 33, like we didn't have free meals. Like we did.
Right.
We were the guests, but the convention paid for us, which is nice. But like, even as like people that go into Club 33, it's not just like a free meal. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, do actual? I've never been with an actual member. Do members get free meals? Probably not.
No, you still.
Yeah.
So, so 21 Royal is $15,000. And I'm trying to see where it says how many you can have in
a
there.
dozen friends.
A dozen, so 12.
Yep.
So
And
it ends
how
up
long do you-
being
How long are you there?
12.50%.
Can you be there for the whole day?
Just I'm never leaving.
Right? But I think you get like a
Yes.
5-course meal or something,
It's
and
probably
you get VIP status for yourself and 11 friends with valet parking at the Grand Californian. You do get a park hopper ticket for all, and an elaborate 7-course meal with tax gratuity, wine pairings, and a couple of cocktails included.
See,
That's
that's
not
wasted
terrible.
on me. I don't drink.
Yeah, me either.
Discount?
Yeah, right.
$5
Yeah.
off.
Like $5. Have you ever seen the alcohol prices at Disneyland?
Right. That's
You get, like,
true.
3
no,
churros.
because I don't drink.
We went with one of our community managers, Kate, to the Lamplight Lounge, and she ordered a drink, and it was like $15, and I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
15
"That's
to
really
20, yeah.
Well, but the one she got was 15, and it was this tiny little thing, and I felt bad taking a sip of it because I was like, I took a little sip, and it was like,
Like that was like $2.
yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. Right?
But I don't
Have you guys
drink
been
either,
on the
so-
Lily Bell?
No.
No.
I
that's
the
a dream of mine,
closest
too.
the closest I've come to the Lily Bell was one of my it was 2019, the last day we were getting on the train, and it was out, and so I just
really?
we sat in the last car. I'm like, this is as close as I'm gonna get.
So cool.
I did ask if it was open, and they said no.
Yeah.
Thanks
And it's
for asking.
not going to be open for quite a while from
I know,
COVID
right?
stuff, for
I
sure.
know.
Well, it had closed down because it basically you could only get in there if you had a tour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's right. So I asked.
Mhm.
It was my last trip to Disney. We went in March, right before it closed.
Oh yeah,
And we got the Rise of the Resistance boarding pass, which was
nice. Yeah.
crazy, an event in itself. And then I went to ask the conductor. I'm like, can we see the Lily Bell? They're like, well, you can sign up for a tour. I'm like, okay.
That, and then the other thing that I really want to do is like pilot the Mark Twain
Oh, yes.
or captain the Mark Twain.
The last time that so not this last trip, and like before COVID, we went and we were on the Mark Twain, and I asked at the bottom, and they said, you have to find the captain. And I said, well, what does the captain look like? They said, you've got to find him. And I was like, okay.
Damn.
So then I just kept walking up to random cast members. Are you the captain? Oh, no, I think the captain's over there. Okay. And then by the time I found the captain, somebody else had gotten to it,
Yeah.
and they were going up the
Oh.
stupid thing. I was like,
It was
really?
like a scavenger hunt.
Oh, no.
It's a smart way to do it, though. You got to
I
go find the
suppose.
captain, so then they don't have to.
So you have to really want it.
Well, and then it's one person making the decision,
Yeah.
and not. Oh, I already told this family they could do it.
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Still.
Yeah. I know
Okay.
all those little hidden secrets that you want to just try to find in
Mhm.
Disneyland.
If you could do a voice of a Disney character,
Oh.
and it's a 2-part question. One is, what Disney character would you do? And 2, if you could do a voice in an attraction, what would you do?
I think the attraction one, which is like a goal of mine, is to be a voice in Disneyland, which would be the absolute checklist. I think I'm good.
Yeah. Wow.
Because, but I think I would love to be the voice on the tram. Be like, welcome
Ooh.
to the Disneyland tram. Please keep your hands and arms inside the tram at all times. I think that'd be super fun. Just to like,
I love the
be the-
tram.
right? And it's like the first thing. I have a lot of memories about it because going to Disney World a lot, you have to ride a tram or something
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
you drive everywhere. Not like in Disneyland, we stay across the street and we just walk.
Mm-hmm.
But just to have that's like your very first welcome into Disneyland. And for me, all those voiceovers are just it just brings me to my happy place.
Yeah.
Even like the security, like,
Mhm.
keep your hands and arms in, like you guys have, all your intros. That's why I love your podcast so much as well. Is that you have such great intros and outros. It just brings me back to my happy place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hearing those announcements in the morning for Rope Drop is phenomenal, and hearing even Timothy Mouse on Dumbo telling you to hang on tight, is really cool. Your other question was to voice a Disney character. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it would be awesome to voice someone, that's like a legacy character, of course. But I just don't think I can do it. I can do, oh boy, that's about it. I can't do it as good as the guys that are doing it right now. I don't know. I think it would just be, for me, a dream would be to play the male ingenue in a Disney feature that's a musical,
Oh.
because that's like my bread and butter.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's interesting when I when I did my cool guy voice. That's like my Aladdin. My like, do you trust me? Do you trust me? You know, that's him. And then when I rewatched Little Mermaid,
Yeah.
it was like my Prince Eric voice. Like when I used to do it as a kid, like, I feel really bad not knowing your name. Maybe I can guess. Is it Diana? Okay, no. Like during that, like, Kiss the Girl scene. Favorite songs, by the way. So it's like that, like being that, like, ingenue was what I was brought up watching and like loving and emulating. So for me, and you know, it would be even more awesome to have it be like an Asian character.
Yeah.
To kind of represent my background, which is something I never saw as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, all the characters were like white. But I emulated. I wanted to be that part. But then that's another, you know, that's a whole other topic we can go into, but we won't. But it's like being an Asian actor. And before the wokeness that is so long overdue happened, it was like I wanted these parts. I wanted to be Marty McFly. I wanted to be Aladdin. I wanted to be Prince Eric. But that wasn't reserved for me. I never even had the opportunity for those parts before. So for me to like, I had to break down so many barriers to be like, I had to be better than the other white guys.
Yeah.
Is really what the struggle is. Let's just say it as it is.
Yeah.
I had to be better than the other white guys that were always getting the parts.
Yeah.
Because I was getting like the sub parts on TV and film, like always like the Asian gangster or the lab tech or the Chinese delivery guy with the accent. Like that's honestly was my very first thing was to do this and I had to talk like this. And so it was like, I had to bust down so many doors to be like, listen, I have the skills to do what these other people do.
Yeah.
You have to give me that chance. And that was the hardest thing to do. And now I feel like the industry is finally waking up and going, we are not representing everyone equally. Let's bring forth these parts and roles that offer them to actors who never had the opportunity. So now something like Encanto, that's like blowing up. It's huge. Things like Hamilton, which is like, we're just representing people who are talented. And guess what? We're just people of color. And we are phenomenal. Let's represent these people. Let's encourage these people. And then so you can see, like, for me, like doing Asian specific parts is really cool, as well as doing other parts where I play a bag of chips or a red pepper or a white person. But it's really cool when I can, you know, I have other fans now that are like, I see myself on screen when I watch this show. You know,
awesome.
It's so cool. And like, I think I want to be an actor now because I can see that you did it and you're an Asian guy who's successful. So it's like, wow, like I carry that torch with such respect and I want to honor that and hopefully inspire others to be able to at least have the notion that you have an opportunity now and you have to speak up and be yourself and you don't have to be like everybody else. Because that was what we were doing before. A lot of mixed race people were hiding their names and choosing their Caucasian last names because they didn't want to be like, if I'm a Wong or a Tong or a Hernandez, they're going to pigeonhole me into a certain role.
Right.
You know, and now we get to celebrate who we are. You know, and I see that people are changing back and reverting to their actual names. It's like, yes, be proud of who you are. Celebrate who you are. And hopefully the industry is starting to do that now. We've got a long way to go, but we're starting.
That's amazing. Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. That's really
that has
amazing.
been Vincent Jones.
No. Rude.
I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's really cool because again, not something that people really realize or really think of, but it's very, very true. It's not something that's really brought forward that people are paying attention to. So it's super important.
Well, the thing too, like I think that the movie studios are starting to see, like for a long time, I think that there was this thought process that, people like watching white people and like blah, blah, blah. And once people started making movies that are accurate casting and everything like that, people went to see them because they were very excited about it. I think about Coco, and I think about how especially at Disneyland, people, because there's a lot of Hispanic culture and stuff down in LA and in California in general, all the Coco stuff was super popular. And now Encanto, I feel like that's also going to be very popular at the parks, especially because it's part of their culture. And it's not just, oh, we're excited about some, Little Mermaid or whatever. Like, there's excitement there too. But there's all these rich cultures you can pull all these cool stories from.
Absolutely.
That we've missed out on for so long. Raya. And now we're starting to get that stuff. Raya's another one. So I'm with you. I'm glad that somebody somewhere took chances, and now people are realizing, oh, like this isn't as scary and as unsuccessful as we thought it was maybe going to be.
Yeah,
I feel like it's even more successful in a lot of ways because there's that whole, like you're saying, you may not, not you necessarily, but like people of different ethnicities that are not white. Might go see a movie with better representation of seeing themselves on the screen, whether they were going to see that movie before or not. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe you see a movie that you're like, I wouldn't normally go see this, but I feel like that person looks like me. I should go see it and support it.
I think it's just it's a weird lens.
Yeah,
that is strange if you're not in it.
Yeah,
right. So like that, like you said, Teresa, like you don't really ever think about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I have.
Right.
All my life.
Right.
Yep.
I have been. That's the only lens I've seen. Is like when I saw as a kid, it was like Saved by the Bell, and the only Asian character I saw was a nerd, one of the nerds, and he never had a line. He might have been a great actor, but he was never even given that chance to audition for the Zach Morris or the AC Slater.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like what happens first? Is it the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
If you don't give a person an opportunity, they're not going to be as honed with their skills as the person who's had 10 years of that opportunity. You're like, oh, are you going to hire this person, this ethnic person? They're not that good. Well, why aren't they good? You haven't given them the 10 years opportunity to become good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's so many other like actors who are of a Caucasian persuasion have had that opportunity. Mm-hmm. So they've had that opportunity to hone their skills.
Yeah.
So it's like now that we're giving the opportunities, now that there are opportunities, you're seeing all these amazing actors of color, of different backgrounds, representations, blast you away, blow you away with their talents. And you're like, whoa, where did that come from? It was always there.
Oh,
we
yeah.
just never had the chance to showcase it,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a cool time to be alive.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I was just going to say, you're at a great time right now.
I never paid attention to voice actors. As far as ethnicity with voice actors.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, was kind of what I meant as far as that.
People are like, well, yeah, you're not used to seeing a person that's not white as a lead in a show. It's almost like if you were fed pizza for your 10 years of your 20 years of your life, and then all of a sudden sushi, you always saw sushi in the back, but everyone was like, it's just not as good. It's just not as good. Whatever other food that you might have never tried.
Yeah.
But then you try it and you're like, wow, that's phenomenal.
Like, why has this been in
knew.
the back this whole time?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So it's sort of like that. Like, I understand why you're conditioned. We're all conditioned to like certain things. If all you see is movies with Caucasian people, that's what you're conditioned to see. Well, what's the next movie? Oh, it's a Caucasian person.
Yeah.
That looks familiar. That looks safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Eternals earlier, and one of the things I thought was so cool was the representation, but also that one of the Eternals spoke sign language. I thought that was really cool too, because that's again not something that you really see represented on the screen.
And the other thing too that they did with Eternals that I thought was amazing with that character was a lot of times when you have somebody with a different language in this case or different ability or whatever, I feel like a lot of times movies like explain it, they have to like focus on it. And this was like, it's the character, it's just there like any other person would be. They didn't go into a whole thing. Some people could speak sign back and all that. And like it wasn't like a point. It wasn't a topic of the movie. It was just there. And I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Because when you point it out, then you're separating it from everybody else. But when you make it just like a normal person, because they are a normal person, then people are like, oh, it's not a big deal. And that's how it should be, because just because somebody can't hear or somebody can't speak or somebody's a different color, like who cares?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a cartoon I did called Dragon Prince on Netflix, and there was a character who did signing.
Oh.
And it was interesting. It was like I was like, I've never seen a cartoon character
No,
sign before. So I loved seeing that. just like representing.
Mhm.
Representation is so important.
Well,
And a friend of mine, Tom Taylor, who writes a lot of DC comics, he created The Deep, which is another cartoon I do on Netflix. So he wrote the new Superman, and the character in there is bi, and a huge blow up
wow.
on
Yeah.
social media. But it's like, yes, we're
Yeah.
representing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Superheroes can be bi as well. Why not?
Yep.
Well, wasn't
Yep.
the whole point like weren't a lot of the comics and stuff based like X-Men, right? It's based on the fact that like you shouldn't treat people differently.
Yeah,
Like they make it
Exactly.
ridiculous things like, oh, he's psychic or he
He's
can
got
blast
claws
stuff out
or-
of his hands or whatever. But really the story is people are different and
Yeah,
that's
people are
okay and we should be
Yes.
accepting of it.
Exactly.
And we should celebrate those differences.
Exactly.
X-Men is a great satire of society. A
Yeah.
great look and introspection of it, for sure.
If you could work at Disneyland, what would you do? Sky's the limit. It could be a real job, could be a fake job. What would you do?
Aside from your voicing for the tram.
Yeah.
Right. It's a good question. I think in my when I retire, I don't think I'll ever retire from voice acting, but in my elder years, I might want to drive a vehicle up Main
Ooh.
Street because I think that'd be a fun way to meet people and kind of like honk a horn at some crazy kids. But I think it'd be really fun. I love Pirates of the Caribbean,
Mhm.
and I think maybe acting inside. You know how they do it? I think it's in Disney World. Do they do that for Halloween sometimes, where they have like actual actors inside
Oh.
of pirates, where people dress up as pirates and they speak.
They've done that for some things. Like I know this isn't actor wise, but I mean it is actor wise. But they like Johnny Depp one day
Yeah.
came in and was
Yes,
just
that's
hanging
right.
out in the
Mhm,
thing, and it was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I think I would have
Yeah.
died.
I think it's in Disney World where they do that. They have actual like pirates acting.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's
during one of,
right.
like the special nights.
That's right. It is the
yeah.
Halloween stuff.
Yeah. There's someone in the dungeon in the queue. They have a
Ah.
really beautiful queue there, and so there's someone in the dungeon like, I think the dog has the keys or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and then there's
Yeah.
the pirates speaking to you. I think that would be fun, just because I love being inside pirates, and I think that's like a perfect.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can be a immersive pirate for the Disneyland version.
Who doesn't love being a pirate, right?
There you go. So, we've talked about it a lot, but let's just summarize at the end.
Yes.
So if people want to catch your new movie coming out,
Yes.
remind us, because I'm a terrible person. No, I have it right in front of me, but remind everybody what the name of the movie is and what day it comes out.
It is called The Ice Age: Adventures of Buck Wild. I play Crash the Possum, and it is coming out on Disney Plus on January 28th.
So
And you
definitely
can
go see
also,
it.
find me on Instagram if you guys want to.
Do you have anything special planned for the premiere that you'll be having in your living room?
Disney is sending up a themed kit, watching kit. I don't know what that
Ooh.
means, but I'm very excited.
Sky's the limit on that.
Yeah, I have no idea. So no, not really anything. I'm just gonna enjoy it and hopefully it'll be fun. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. It's such a fun script, and I am really excited to see how it came out.
That's so fun. You'll have to let us know what's in your viewing kit.
Yes, sounds good. Will do.
That should be fun. I feel like
I mean, Disney. It could be like a couple of things, or it could be like this massive basket
Right.
of stuff with it being Disney. You never
I
know.
would just be happy if it's like a pin, you know?
right. Yeah, there
it's
you
an
go.
ice sculpture.
It's an
Right?
ice
From
sculpture.
California. It didn't last.
Right.
It's just this puddle now.
Well, Vincent, thank you so much. We were so entertained by you
Yes.
tonight, and we could tell right at the beginning that this was going to be an entertaining conversation, and it definitely was. I really enjoyed listening to all your voices. I also enjoyed looking through some of your work because I didn't know you had done some of these things. I will say, producer James loves Ninjago, and when you had emailed in, like the night that I got your email,
Yeah.
I looked up your name and I said, "Oh, he was in Ninjago," and James goes,
Ninjago.
sorry,
Yeah.
Ninjago." James goes, "Who was he?" And I said, "Kai," and he goes, "Oh, I love Kai."
Yes.
So-
Another Kai fan.
So there you
Good
go.
taste.
So I think he's going to listen to this interview and be very, very happy and excited because he went through a whole phase where he was watching all the Ninjago from like the beginning or something. So
Awesome. Thank you so much for everything. Thanks for having me on. This is such a blast. Thanks for nerding out on Disney with me.
Well, thank you for taking all the time that you spent with us tonight because it went longer than I thought it was going to go to, but that always ends up happening.
But that's great. That's because we find we get to learn all sorts of interesting things, and the conversation gets to go places that.
Well, Disney fans always want to talk forever. It's just what we do.
Looks like we're coming in for a landing, gang. But please stay listening until trivia comes to a stop. And then you can walk to the nearest exit. Thanks for listening to the 8th wonder of the world, DLWeekly.
All right, welcome back to Trivia Land, where we are going to find out just how they did today. How do you think you did?
50%.
50%. What do you think, Teresa?
I feel like we've done better, and I feel like we've done worse. So, yeah.
Well, I am going to tell you this was one of your better nights ever.
Hey,
yes.
Ever.
Not best.
Yeah.
But better.
Like we've never done like all 100%.
Not very often.
I mean, that's true. That is true.
Well, let's find out how it went. Your first question from listener Liberty M. Where are the 4 hidden Mickeys on Pinocchio's Daring Adventure attraction? So I had to do some serious vetting on this one, and Google Images was very helpful. You came up with some that weren't in the answer provided by Liberty, and Google Images kind of confirmed what you came up with, kind of didn't, because, of course, there are things of, what did the person's camera angle come up with, and what didn't, it's all eye of the beholder, whatnot. And so I kind of gave you credit on things that I didn't see, but I could see why you could see it, and I could see why the other person that took the picture saw it. And basically, I gave you full credit, but what Liberty was looking for was the Pleasure Island gates in the loading zone mural. The popcorn Mickey in the popcorn machine, which is actually the back, like kind of the back of the popcorn machine, the popcorn itself making the shape of the full body of Mickey.
Oh.
It's kind of eye of the beholder, but if you look at it the right eye, it's there. Popcorn Mickey on the floor of the popcorn machine, and the classic Mickey on the top of the case in the shop. That was the first one that Teresa mentioned.
Yay.
So
Good job.
full credit for that.
Good job, Teresa.
I gotta look at these popcorn ones. Those sound complicated. Okay.
Your second question from listener Ruben O. What is the flight number of our Star Speeder when we board Star Tours? You're really cool if you know the significance of that number. Tag knew it right off the bat with 1401 being the address of Walt Disney Imagineering.
Boom.
Good job, Tag.
Good job, Tag.
Your third question from listener Elise K. What did Disneyland's cast member cafeteria used to be called, and where was it located? No hesitation from either of you, coming straight in with the in-between, spelled correctly with 2 N's in, and knowing that it was between Main Street and Tomorrowland.
Boom.
Your fourth regular question from listener Chris Y. Where are Luigi's cousins visiting from?
Oh, this might be the one.
This is the one.
This is the one. You forgot where you were. You're in Cars Land. So you guessed Venice and Italy.
Oh, no.
Or Venice and Sicily. And you forgot that in Italy, there's an actual town of Carsoli.
Oh. That's fun.
And Luigi's cousins were visiting from Carsoli, Italy.
Oh.
And your bonus question today from listener Kevin M. What ride can you continuously ride in Disneyland without ever having to get off? And you were exactly correct with Disneyland Railroad.
Woo!
Giving you a grand total tonight of 4 correct. Very well done.
Yay. That was pretty impressive.
Not bad, not bad. We
Impressive.
usually don't do as well.
Even though Vern may have giving us a little extra creative liberty for our first one.
Sometimes.
Hidden Mickeys are hard because it's very much,
Yeah, Hidden Mickey is so eye of the beholder. So
Yeah.
I did some vetting on that one, and I said, okay, no, I see what you saw. I'm giving it to you. Because
Well, we appreciate that.
yeah, well, and
Whether we
not
saw it
just
or not.
was it that you saw it, but somebody else saw it and posted it.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just, oh, you made that up and I can't find it anywhere. It's, well, okay, it is on Google because somebody else saw it and took
Sure.
a picture of it, put it up. Well, all right, I'm going to give it to you. So no, that's a tough thing with Hidden Mickeys, and you got 3 of the 4 that were specifically in the answer.
Do you want to know what's amazing to me? I never noticed it was a popcorn machine. I just thought it was a popcorn stand.
Well, listeners, how do you think they did? How did you do listening at home? Do you think you've got the perfect question that's going to really stump them in the future? We are always looking for more listener-submitted questions, so feel free to send those in to us at trivia@dlweekly.net.
Well, we will be back next week with more Disneyland news and information.
Until then, go out and enjoy the parks.
Please remain seated until the podcast comes to a complete stop and the doors have opened. Then collect your belongings, watch your head, and step carefully from the episode. On behalf of all of our crew, thanks for traveling with us. And we hope you have a happy and memorable visit here at DL Weekly.